I want to see it skyrocket. I want to make tons of money for the charity.
Yes, for the charity.
So it looks like we are
going into
the next game.
Game number 2 here on Daybreak. I love Daybreak, and I take it Kane must have picked this map. It's probably loser's pick, I would imagine. And of course, this is a best of 3. I think we're still in the 8s.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So if Tubby wins this game, he's going to be moving on, I think, to the semifinals. And Kane needs to win this game to stay in this. Starting down here in the bottom left, we got Tubby. And up top right, we have Kane.
Mr. MaximusBlack.
Yeah.
Hit me up with the noise of seeing Kane without his mask for the first time. It's accurate. That was pretty much my reaction.
You're so scared you can't talk.
You see that while you're...
Oh, wait, we don't have a webcam.
Well, it doesn't
so
matter
they didn't
anyway.
get to see that.
Well, they didn't get to see it, but they didn't. They also got to not hear it while... So it worked anyway.
Okay, cool.
It worked anyway.
All right.
It worked anyway. So yes, here on Daybreak we have Kane up here, who is down a game after that Void Ray play by TubbyTheFat, who is the orange Protoss down in the bottom left-hand corner. This is WCS's version of Daybreak, which means it has the WCS name in front of it and a supply depot at the bottom of some ramps. We have a pylon out there already for Mr. TubbyTheFat. So what is that telling you, Mr. MaximusBlack?
It should be telling you that it's going to be a Forge Fast.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
All the things Forge Fast.
So that's the probe sent out for scouting, drops that pylon before he goes on his massive journey across this map.
Yes.
Only to piss off Kane by doing the cha-cha slide in and around his natural, and a second probe will come out to drop that Forge.
Yeah, he's actually going to go Nexus first.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to go Nexus first, and he'll chuck down his Forge immediately. He was over here with this probe trying to just delay this as quickly as possible. I don't know. Kane already has this spawning pool just about to finish up, and if he rushes out 3 lings, Overlord's about to pop, and he goes all the way down there, he's now going to get the information.
See it.
He might be able to sneak in there and cause a little bit of an issue there for Tubby.
Very much so. Here's a question for you, sir. In the Forge Fast Expand world of Heart of the Swarm, is the roach thing still viable? The roach counter for just getting like the 7 roaches out or whatever, 7 to 10 roaches to send it out to shut down the expand.
No, you got Mothership Core now. You pretty much shut it down. I mean, unless you don't expand, or not. Sorry, unless you don't scout, then yeah, it can catch you off guard because depending, like we saw last game where Tubby opted to not get the Mothership Core so quick. If he was being rushed by roaches, yeah, that could have caused an issue. But the fact that now that the Mothership Core just does so much early game, it's almost really dumb for Zerg to do that.
It is an insanely utilitarian unit.
Yeah.
I mean, it does a bit of everything and is useful throughout the entire game. There's never a point in time where you go, well, damn, I don't really need this Mothership Core. I'm going to leave this bit back in base. No, you're always following you around in the early game. Definitely useful in situations like that. And now, the more you know. At that point, do you have enough energy if you pop the Mothership Core for an overcharge before the roaches hit? Yeah. Is that why that would be shut down more easily?
Yeah, and if you don't, by the time he's messing around with the front cannon and stuff, you're totally fine, dude.
You're good to go?
You don't have to worry about roaches unless, of course, you don't scout it. If you're going to all-in a Zerg, you're definitely better off doing like a Baneling bust, just because even if a Photon Overcharge goes off, you can just still wipe probes and run past the natural itself and just go right in the main. So, but anyway, there's no all-ins happening here.
Nope.
In fact, Kane's just going to go gasless 3 expand, and he'll be pumping out a bunch of queens. Actually, Tubby here just getting 1 gas. Is he going to just try and do like a 4-gate pressure build? This is interesting. I don't see this often, and I sure as hell don't do it very often. And now the extractors are going down here for Kane.
Could he be going for a 3rd himself?
Absolutely.
That might be what's happening. I'm seeing a probe make its way up there. Nope, never mind. That's Bob.
Yeah, Bob's just going to do his job. Yep.
So there we go. So he is going to also grab. So this is basically, we're seeing the Protoss version of what Kane is doing on the other side of the map.
Yeah, we've got a 6-minute and 20-second third.
That's a quick third
for Tubby.
That is IndyCar racing fast third.
And the great thing about it is he can actually do it because there's nothing really out on the field that's going to contest that at all.
Nope.
And he's just totally fine to do it. And great play here by Tubby. And Kane, on the other hand, still sitting on 45 drones, so he's macroing hardcore. Layer now just going down. So it looks like we're going to be seeing a much later game this time.
It is definitely going to be a late game, and you know what? I love late game HOTS because the new units make late games so much more entertaining.
Yeah.
I want to see some giraffes. I want to see some Vipers pulling giraffes. I want to see some Vipers pulling giraffes into giraffes ending up killing everything anyway, into Zerglings running all over the place, into maybe a couple of Broodlords with some Phoenix in the Mothership Core recalling for absolutely no reason but because it can. That's what I want to see.
Cool. But don't get your hopes up.
I want to see that all at the same time.
Don't get your hopes up.
Simultaneously.
What's going to happen is there's going to be charge lots,
okay,
blink stalkers,
all right,
void ray,
okay,
high temp.
Yes.
Once they feed back vipers, they're going to turn into archons,
okay,
and then Kane's going to have a crap ton of swarm hosts,
yes,
corruptors to try and kill void rays.
Well, swarm host's not a bad unit.
No, swarm hosts are great, and just a whole bunch of lings and hydras. That's what's going to happen.
Well, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
But it's also very exciting, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Absolutely.
We got Tubby here, actually, walling off the natural area. I really, really like this. His extra gates are going down now, and he's now putting down 3 more gases, which is good. So Tubby's really going to start getting his gas up. Still, okay, I was just about to say, no upgrades, but Tubby is starting that. And we got a Spire going down for Kane. Oof. This is going to be, this could be scary for Tubby. We got no Stargates out yet. Yeah, we got no Stargates. We got a Twilight Council, so he could have Blink.
That Changeling.
Yeah, Changeling going to get all kinds of information. Tubby's still sitting on quite a bit of Chrono Boost.
What is Tubby seeing? What's his last scouting information that he's got?
Oh, here we go. So now he's going to be scouting.
That's what I was going to say. I said if he doesn't do some scouting, he might actually get himself into some trouble here based on the tech coming out of here for Kane. He is going to get lots of information out of this now, however, and that's going to be incredibly useful for him. He's going to just get out of there with the skin of his teeth to see what happens down here at the third before getting picked off. And now he's got enough information he should be able to work with at this point. Kane also with some great information using that Overseer and the Changeling. So both gentlemen all up on their opponents at this point. And so I doubt we're going to see any sudden surprise attacks.
No.
Evaporate out of thin air.
No, Kane's going to go ahead and grab a 4th and a macro hatch as well. So we're really, really going to be getting to a really heavy macro game. And also, you can just tell the level of play that these guys have. Let's take a look at Kane here, for example. He was long-range mining. And whenever you have more than saturation, just start long-range mining because it's actually... You get more minerals from that. Even though they're on a pilgrimage to go get minerals, you're actually going to gain because, of course, you only can harvest so many at once. So, you know, it's just little things like that that really give the edge over, say, maybe a mid-high master player.
Well, and that's yeah. I mean, those are the things that you always pick up on. I mean, us specifically, because we cast not masters.
No, actually, we cast...
we cast not bronze. So when we watch these games, sometimes it's almost you almost forget about the little things, the nuances that really separate the men from the boys in the world of StarCraft, and that's certainly something that you get to see here at this level of play. It looks like Kane is starting to work out here with what I would be considered to be the scariest thing to deal with in StarCraft if I were actually to play the game, and that is Ling and Muta.
Yeah, Mutas really, really suck, but Tubby is all over this. He's chrono boosting out Phoenix by the 2s right now. He is going to need that range, though, for those Phoenix, so he's going to have to chuck down a Fleet Beacon. And you know what? There is a couple of Corruptors here in the mix, too, so Tubby isn't totally out of the... no, it's really not, and there's nothing really here. It's a lot of Zealots forced to warp in some Stalkers. This Muta's getting rid of the Sentries, and that was not really good there for Tubby, but Tubby's starting to put in some work here with these Phoenix, but the Corruptors are really tanking some damage. And wow, a lot of the sentries are gone, and he needs that energy for later on in the game.
Yes, he absolutely does. That was a great pick off there. That's something you'll see immediately all the time, and there's another one of those things that you don't see some of the lower level guys is when they've got air superiority. If they're not getting picked off, they're just attacking whatever's underneath of them. In this case, getting rid of the sentries. Priority 1 unit there, and a good move there by Kane to do so. Now he's going to get pushed back, unfortunately. TubbyTheFat with quite a decent composition here. Kane with a massive food count. It's hard to tell If the lead is mostly from workers, so Bailey's working in and cleaning up all the
God,
zealots.
that was beautiful.
That was well-timed indeed.
What a flank for Kane, destroying, disintegrating all of those zealots very, very quickly. Now the mutas are on the prey, and look at that, on the prowl, sorry. Oh. Did I say on the prey? The stalkers on the prey.
They're technically on the prey now.
Yes, technically.
But they're on the prowl for sure.
Thank you.
And they did a lot of damage, so that was quite nice.
Yeah, I was trying to add in new words. You know, I was trying to do the thing that the casters do, where it's like, you know what, I'm saying the same things over and over again. I'm trying to open up my vocab for the folks at home.
Supercalifragilistic.
But then I realized, you know, that I'm black, and I dropped out of university after 1 year. English was never my strong suit.
No.
So I may as well just not even try, because I'm just gonna mess that shit up anyway.
No. So. Spanish, on the other hand, great.
Yeah.
Great. I've heard you speak lots of Spanish in your sleep.
Gracias, senor. Kane, 193, pretty much maxed to Tubby's 113. This is a totally different game. I mean, late game, Kane is really shining. Take a look at this. 2 more expands. This shit is getting crazy, man. He is taking this by force. Look at the creep spread all over this map. That is a scary, scary unit composition. If he gets Colossus out to try and get rid of some of these lings, they're going to get eaten up. If he gets Stalkers out, he's not going to get enough of them. You know, he's just not going to have a mass amount to actually go after these. Like, mutas are just going to be able to, like, A-move into them. Tubby's in a really, really terrible spot. He needs to make these Phoenix work.
Tubby really does actually need to do a lot of kiting with these Phoenix, and he's going to have to keep every one of them alive if he's going to survive this attack here, and the inevitable onslaught of units that will come out of Kane. Kane has got to the point now where if he gets a lot of the army down for Tubby, he can just start flooding the base with Zerglings and low-cost units that Tubby just can't keep up with.
No.
And just won't have the economy to do so.
Look, speaking of economy, 2,300 minerals in the bank now for Kane, simply because he's maxed out. The pylons go down, the Lings are coming in, the Banelings from behind, the Mutalisks are just doing so much damage to those Zealots down on the bottom. Once again, the Baneling's going to destroy everything in its path, and this is just looking all the way bad, but Tubby doing a good job of keeping these Phoenix alive, but his base is just getting disintegrated very quickly, and I don't think Tubby's going to be able to hold on much longer.
No, this is that situation that I just mentioned all of 2 seconds ago, where if he loses a lot of his army, if not all of it, it's just going to be a situation where Kane just produces all these Zerglings. You can see them. He just had 40 coming, 26 more on the way. Muta as well, low-cost units that do lots of damage, and he's going to be able to consistently stream these in without any issue at all. You can start to see the units now flooding out into the middle of the map, and with that creep spread that Kane has, they get there quick. Quicker, in fact, than Tubby can keep up with, and so this is going to be a GG scenario after this attack.
Yeah, I don't really see Tubby getting out of this one, and if he does, I'm going to slow clap for 2 hours, and I want everybody to donate everything and their firstborn child. Pretty much.
How much is a firstborn child really worth, though?
It depends what kind of market you're going after.
Okay.
So, I would put it at a minimum of 150 bucks.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
If the child's Korean, obviously worth more. Because, you know, the possibilities are endless.
Literally.
Yeah.